is going on, everybody? It is your boy, WeSportin podcast. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've sat down and did a YouTube video today. But without further ado, I'm back with a little news, some news, etc. But we're gonna make the news super quick, short and sweet. So, first things first, guys, is WeSportin Season 2 is still happening. It still will. I am working on everything for that right now. I'm in a much more great state of mind to where I can sit here and produce good content on YouTube and not have to worry about anything else, because why not? Got my schoolwork done and all that. So I'm here now, able to produce the content for you guys. I look like a freaking bum. I think I should go grab a hat real quick. So let me go grab a hat real quick, because I look like I just got tossed around in a boxing match, aka my hairline sucks. Be right back. Okay, so we got a hat now, so thank the Lord Jesus, because I was looking like a mess. I know my hairline sucks, but let's just cover it up for today, because you know what? It's my hair's looking a little bad today. So basically, what I'm doing here today is I'm gonna finally start releasing YouTube content. Finally, blah 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 blah. But I know you guys don't want to hear about my whole life. You want me to talk about the video that's going on today. So the video that we're doing today is going to be a ranked NFL teams. Now, free agency's passed. Washington's done their signings. Everyone else has done their signings. So I'm gonna categorize everybody on whether or not they're a Super Bowl team, for sure playoff bound. Playoff hopefuls, they're about average, and then they're just down bad. So without further ado, let's go to that tier list. And we're right here on the tier list now, as of course, I'm not the best when it comes to these. I'm just joking. Basically, so what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna just basically sit down and we're just gonna look at the teams right here, and we're gonna go from, I say we should go from Super Bowl bound to tank, or should we go from tank to Super Bowl? I think we're gonna go from tank to Super Bowl, because why not? Now, the first team that we're gonna have on this list right here, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles, to me personally, didn't upgraded a little bit in the offseason, but they're still lacking just in so much, I guess, in talent and youth, and they're not really looking to be anything but average or playoff hopefuls. They could shock us, but that doesn't really mean much when it comes from a Washington fan. But no, this is no bias. I think any Eagle fan could tell you that they're not going to finish good in the division. Jalen Hurts, with bringing in Gardner Minshew, Jalen Hurts, Joe Flacco, Nick Mullins, it doesn't look like they're comfortable in the situation that they are in. So henceforth, what does that tell you about the system? And with new head coach Nick, I think it's Nick Mariani. I don't know, it's something Italian. He is he's a first year coach, and in my personal opinion, in a first year coach, it's not going to work out well in the system with a bunch of young guys. It's not going to. They still have a lot of salary cap problems, I do believe. They still have, I believe, over like $20 million in cap. They're still kind of hoping that the Colts can suck this year, but they do have a very promising draft coming up due to the fact that they have this many first round picks. If one of them goes their way, they have three. If they have two at the end of the day, they have two at the end of the day. So the next team I'm going to go off of here is the Houston Texans. Now, surprisingly enough, you guys are probably wondering why Houston if Deshaun Watson's still there. I don't believe Deshaun Watson will be there. I think he'll either be on a team called the Miami Dolphins in the next couple of days, or I just think that his allegations are going to get to him and he won't be able to play. And that's just plain and simple. I don't think that Deshaun Watson's going to be able to play. I think that he is going to try his very best to make sure he can get all those allegations out of the way. And the Dolphins are trying to make sure that when they do the trade, that they don't look like absolute losers. And because if you do a trade, you want a winner. And I guess the winner would be getting Deshaun Watson. But, all I'm saying is that the Texans, if they can get Tua Tagovailoa and all of these picks from Miami, which Miami has been able to generate draft picks like it's water. They generate these draft picks like it's nothing. I think Brian Flores in the front office of Miami Dolphins are really smart. And the Houston Texans, I'm not saying that they don't have any pieces, but they do have a young Philip Lindsay. They do have an overpaid David Johnson, a Mark Ingram, a Brendan Cooks. They just traded away Randall Cobb. They did get the tight end out of Miami in the draft. So they do have if they do the trade, they have a young core that's going to suck for about a couple of years, and everything else around them is going to suck. So simple. Now, the next team I believe that is going to tank this season. I don't know why they weren't second or third. I don't know. I'm kind of just going off of what I see with my own eyeballs, but it's going to be the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are just going to be the type of team that next year that here's the thing about the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions can either do this. The Detroit Lions can either go 7-10, 6-11, or they just suck. They can get more than 6 wins in a season, or they just plummet and only win 2 games. They do have a guy like Jared Goff. They do have DJ Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift. They did draft Panay, which I was a little on edge about without not going quarterback. Because if the Lions had needed anything, it would have been quarterback. Let me tell you. Sorry about that. But it would be quarterback. Sorry to tell you guys, Lions fans, but quarterback would probably been the way to go. I think their team is just very dysfunctional. Jeff Okudah drafted last year. He played average last year. He wasn't all that great. They do have guys like Trey Flowers. I just don't see this team doing anything serious this season, maybe in the next couple of years, but I do love their head coach. Their head coach is funny. I feel like we shouldn't call these guys tanks, but should we? Yeah, we should call this team like the tank. Like, don't even try to make the playoffs type of thing. Now, the next team, I really don't think that there's any other teams that I see tanking. I really don't. They're not tanking because that's the thing. I don't want to call like a team that just sucks. We're gonna call this category "Try Again Next Year." That's what we're gonna call it. Try it again next year. Try it again next year. Well, since it's called the Try Again Next Year, I'm going to put down the Cincinnati Bengals. Personally speaking, to me, the Bengals have absolutely done nothing. They got Jamar Chase, and that's all I really heard about. That's all I know about them is that they got Jamar Chase, and they went and traded their first round pick, Billy Price, from a couple of years ago to the Giants, which I, again, don't understand why they would do that. That's literally your only offensive line help. Joe Mixon's all right and consistent. Burrow coming off an injury. Tyler Boyd. T. Higgins. I love T. Higgins. So T. Higgins should be a phenomenal startup wide receiver. Jamar Chase having a lot of drop issues, though. So that better be like preseason jitters, because once that season starts, we need people to rely on you, man. And no, I'm not talking about fantasy football because you're on my team. Anyways, so I believe that this year, after the Try It Again next year, I think now by looking at every team, I can sit here and say, there's actually maybe one more team. I'm going to go with the New York Jets. Sorry, Jets fans. I don't think you guys are contenders. You guys are you guys are an okay. I wouldn't even call you guys average because I haven't seen Zach Wilson play. But I will say Zach Wilson's looking good in camp. You guys have a promising future. You guys aren't going to contend, though, if they get Deshaun Watson in that division. New England's doing whatever New England can. I don't know what they're doing. New England is just they're just so dumb. I mean, I'm thank God I'm not a freaking Patriots fan. Still, I don't know what they're up to. Don't know what they're doing. But the New York Jets, to me personally, are average, or not average. They're just try it again next year. They're having the guys. They have Michael Carter in the draft. They got Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. They just went and traded for Shaq Lawson because Carl Lawson got injured. So that's a good thing for them, I guess. But their secondary is just abominable, and their just their front seven is all right. Quentin Williams is just a tad bit overrated. But yeah, that's enough for the team of Try It Again next year's. We're going to now move on to the average guys. And the first team I'm going to start off with average is the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys are probably thinking, what the f, Nico? Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me personally, they're average. I like what they're doing in Jacksonville. I love it. I love the Trevor Lawrence. I love the James Robinson. Sucks that Travis Etienne got out, though. But Marvin Jones, Marvin Jones is starting to look like a Cincinnati Bengal version of him. DJ Chark is actually starting to look good in their system. Their O-line is, I'm so sorry, guys. I just got done with doing school. Their O-line is okay. I like their O-line. Like, their O-line is getting to that point. Now, where do they lack the most? I'm gonna say for once, it's defense. Their secondary is very young secondary, very young. They have Shaquem Griffin, they have CJ Henderson. They did trade Sidney Jones the fourth to the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I think this team is just gonna just lack a lot with just Urban Meyer being there. And I'm an Ohio State guy. And why am I yawning? And I'm an Ohio State guy, and I think Urban Meyer is a phenomenal player, but I mean not phenomenal player, phenomenal coach. But it's gonna take time for this team to get well. Now, for the next average team, Lord have mercy. I'm gonna just say it's the Falcons. I'm gonna put the Falcons at average. The reason why I say Falcons are at average at the moment is just because of the fact that they did improve a little bit, and when Matt Ryan has a functional offense, the team's not entirely horrible, but don't be surprised. I don't know. I feel like I should put this team to try again next. Yeah, this team's gonna go in to try again next year. I feel like, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put the Bengals back on top of here. I'm gonna put the Bengals at average. Yeah, no, because like they didn't. I'm gonna put the Falcons right back down here. The Falcons are in this category of try again next year. The Jacksonville Jaguars have made it out. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to it's so interesting doing this. All right, now the next team, who I'm gonna sit here and tell you is average. Sorry, Panthers fans. Sorry, Carson. I think your Panthers are average. I think they're average. They're an average team. They have a decent defense, decent offense. But are they playoff hopefuls? No. Why? Because personally, I don't see Sam Darnold being that guy for you. I don't. I really don't. Hell, I was hesitant to put you guys in average. But to me personally, that the Carolina Panthers, they have a chance to succeed, just not at that level yet. But they have upgraded, which I'm happy about. They did upgrade, but they did lose Curtis Samuel. They did lose Teddy Bridgewater. Well, Teddy Bridgewater wasn't that big of a deal, but they lost like guys like Mike Davis, who was really good in the backfield for them when CMC was out. They did get Chuba Hubbard though, and I love Chuba Hubbard. Oh my God. We're gonna have a yog count on the side of here, I swear. They did get Chuba Hubbard, so I'm really liking that. Defensively, that's where you guys honestly kind of lack for me is defensively. You guys do have Brian Burns. You guys do have Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, Terrence Marshall. You guys had a good draft. You guys had a phenomenal draft, an absolutely phenomenal draft. So I'll give that kudos to you guys. So there you go. You guys' team to me, in my eyes, just average. Now, the next team I'm going to put into this category right here. Now, it's going to be tough because now we're getting into the division of the NFC South. The NFC West. Now, we all know this division to be one of the hardest divisions in the NFL. Hardest divisions in the NFL. And we're getting into this like a little West stuff right here. But you know what? I'm going to put a team to finish average in this division. You know what? Straightforward with you. This is my hot take. I think the Seattle Seahawks are damn near average. I honestly see the Seattle Seahawks being last in the division. I can literally see it. Chris Carson's is all right. Russell Wilson is, of course, phenomenal. DK and Tyler Lockett are great. They did have the subtraction of David Moore. Oh my God. They did lose Shaquem Griffin. They do not have Bobby Wagner. No, they do have Bobby Wagner. They had Jamal Adams, but with that, they went and lost to a backup quarterback in the playoffs. They were the one team in this offseason, to me personally, they didn't upgrade. Yeah, they did get Gabe Jackson from Oakland, but that's all they upgraded and was that. That's all they did was upgrading that. So I really don't see the Seattle team being that scary. I'm not scared of the Seattle team. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried. I'm sorry. They don't really worry me. The next team we're going to go onto this board here is going to be, surprisingly, the Oakland Raiders. Now, Oakland Raiders, like the Seattle Seahawks, did not really improve. They actually declined. They lost majority of their O-line, except they kept the one guy. I can't even remember his name because he's that bad. And they also went and drafted Alex Leatherwood, a second-round talented tackle, Alabama. Just because they went to Alabama does not mean anything. Just because they went to Alabama doesn't mean shit. Okay? The Oakland Raiders are not a good team. At this point, I feel so bad for Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs. That team sucks. That team is damn near borderline try again next year. Which, I mean, again, they didn't really get anyone. I mean, I will say they got that Trevon Moorhead guy who, me personally, I like that guy. He's a really good safety. He's really good. What can he not do? Play all the other positions on the field. So Oakland Raiders, you guys are finishing at an average record this year. Sorry, not sorry. No, I really feel like now with the next average team I have here, it shouldn't even be average, but I'm gonna put it on to put them under his average. I'm gonna put the Dallas Cowboys at average. And this is now again, this is not me being biased. This is literally just me being realistic with you. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are very mediocre. They have a really good offense, but with a shitty defense that they have. Yes, they do have DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch. Great, great. Secondary is horrible. Keanu Neal's all right. Keanu Neal's not this guy that's going to come in and change your freaking system because his name is Keanu Neal and he did good in the Falcons. It's the Falcons defense. He succeeded in the Falcons defense. Come on, y'all. Use your head when you think about this, Dallas fans. And this is not me being biased. If you want my honest opinion, you guys could be playoff hopefuls. Where is it going to lack? If Dak Prescott can stay healthy, Zeke can stay consistent, and your defense can actually finish top 20. Top 20 for your defense is very good. So, sorry, that's just my personal thoughts. Yeah. And for the last team I'm going to put on here, it's going to be a surprise to y'all, but got to put them here. It's the Denver Broncos. Guys, I have nothing against the Denver Broncos. I don't. I love the Denver Broncos. I love what they have going on. I love Bryce Callahan. I love Kyle Fuller, Patrick Surtain, Kareem Jackson. I love Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. I love those guys, dude. The Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. Love them. Melvin Gordon. Everyone who knows me, I love Melvin Gordon. But this team to me personally is just not it. The quarterback play. The quarterback play is too horrendous. The inconsistency of Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock not being a quarterback in general. I feel bad for Drew Lock, but I feel like now this would have been Drew Lock's season to do something, but instead of now he's getting benched for Teddy. It should have been Drew's season, but you guys will be nothing but average without a top 15 quarterback in that system. But it's great that you guys are finally building around this. It's good that this team is finally getting back to where they belong, which is a playoff team. So good job. But right now, you guys are average. You guys are average right now. But it's just because of the quarterback play. It's because of the O-line's a little shaky. And I'm not too high on Noah Fant personally. He's a great tight end, phenomenal. I'm not the highest guy on him. He's all right, mediocre. The D line is starting to. You guys are starting to rejuvenate, but not as like the Broncos that we all remember. We're just seeing you guys back as the Broncos. Now we're gonna go on to the playoff hopefuls. Now I feel like every team that's still here is a playoff hopeful. And yeah, so right now we're going to move on here. And the first team that's a playoff hopeful, possible playoffs, is the Los Angeles Chargers. I love the Chargers. They're playing my Washington football team this week 1. Now, where is the Chargers going to lack? It's the same reason that a lot of these teams that are coming up in these rankings, it's a lack of head coaching due to the one-year guy that's coming in. And their defense for the Chargers is a little bit icky. They did lose Melvin Ingram to the Steelers. Now, I'm so sorry. Where they, like I said, they lost in Melvin Ingram. Joey Bosa's media is all right. I like Joey Bosa. He's really good. He's top 5, top 3 in his secondary in his position. The Chargers offense is just amazing. Keenan Allen's phenomenal. Justin Herbert's great. Austin Eckler's great. Mike Williams. Their team is just like I see them making the playoffs. I see them making the playoffs out of the circumstances as a 9-8 record, but they are in that same division to Kansas City. And they can just get their divisional games over the Broncos and the Raiders, and they can just, go 4-2 in their division, and they can just have a mediocre season from home and away. Yeah, I could see them making playoffs. Now, the next team that's a playoff hopeful, the New England Patriots. I think this team can make the playoffs out of the random BS that could happen in this world. I think that this team could possibly make the playoffs. I do. I don't know. This team to me personally, it's okay. Could they make the playoffs though? It's possible. It's possible. That's why I love how this is the possible playoffs, meaning that they could, but I don't see them doing it. They could. They really could. But I don't. The Patriots, it would take so much in a stacked division that they're about to be in if Watson gets traded. It's going to really, leverage how I see them. If it's, mediocre, if it's all right, etc. So now the next team that I'm going to put on here is Minnesota Vikings. Do I see the Vikings making the playoffs? Nah. Yeah, no. It really depends on the defensive play. They just cut Everson Griffin after signing him back. And to me personally, this team with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, I could see this team possibly making it. Possibly not. I don't know. I don't know. This team's very up and down, if you want to say. All right, and another playoff hopeful is going to be the New Orleans Saints. This team is okay. Jameis Winston's under their system. Michael Thomas hates the team. But it's okay. I mean, they have Alvin Kamara. Their defense is top 10, 15 at most. This team is not horrible. That's what I'm trying to say. This team could make the playoffs as a 2 seed in the NFC South, but it's going to take them a lot to get to that spot. Just with it's just a quarterback play, how Kamara can help them, Michael Thomas's situation. Their O-line is great, though. Their O-line is phenomenal. So Jameis Winston really has nothing to worry about. But that it's just that if the receivers like Callaway, Harris, Traquan Smith, it's gonna really come down to that. Now I feel like this next team I'm gonna put on there will be a surprise, but I'm gonna say that the Colts are hopeful as well. I don't see the Colts being. I could see them making it with Carson Wentz. I could. It's that if I personally think they can do something, you know what I mean? I love the Minneapolis Colts. I love Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, Mo Alley Cox. Their O-line is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best. Probably not. Their defense is subpar. Darius Leonard's all right. He's a phenomenal left outside linebacker for him. I just think where this team is just going to lack is just some quarterback play. Carson Wentz, but we've seen the team with a all right quarterback. The dude not so horrible. So I don't see this team making it anywhere past the first round, if making the playoffs. But now going on to the team where I'm going to have to sit here and say, sorry, King Jacob, dude. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers may possibly fall out of the playoffs this year. And it's not due to anything else. It's just because of old age, Ben Roethlisberger, the offensive inconsistency. Their defense is phenomenal, but they did lose corners. But they still have Joe Hayden, though, so it's not too horrible. They did lose Bud Dupree. So their team is just there wasn't much improvement, but they did get Najee Harris. There wasn't much improvement all around, but their team managed to somewhat stay the same without changing. Does that make sense? They're still the same Steelers. They're just not the Steelers. They're not what they're not going to be what they were last year. But if they do squeeze in a playoff game or a playoff bound, it's going to be off of a poor record and luck. So the final teams that we have sitting here are the teams that I believe are going to make the playoffs. Personally, these are the guys I have making the playoffs. Now, it's just, are they going to be Super Bowl bound or not? Now, with my first take, it's going to be the New York Giants. I'll talk about the guys in the New York Giants in a nice way. I think you guys will make the playoffs. But I think it's going to be before Washington. I still have a hot take that I'm still stand by with this year, that 2 NFC East teams are going to make the playoffs this year. Will they? Yes, I do see that happening. The Giants and Washington guys are so neck to neck. They're so neck to neck. It's more of just now who can outperform the other team. Personally, I think the Giants can make the playoffs. There will be possibly either the 1 or the 2 seed in the NFC East. Now, there will be the 1 or the 2 team. There will be the 1 or the 2 seeded teams alongside my Washington football team. I think that this team right here is absolutely great. It's a playoff team. I say from last year, we improved a hell of a lot. We improved. And now I just think personally, we're going to be that team who's just going to go right back into the playoffs. Hopefully, maybe we'll get our first playoff win in 15 years now. Now, the next team I will be putting on here to make the playoffs, or who could make the playoffs, is the Miami Dolphins. Guys, this team went 10-6 last year. They were they were one game off. One game. Let's not write these guys off because of one game. All I'm saying is that they have the chance. They have the chance. All I'm going to say. Now, a team that I forgot to put on the possible playoff hopes was the Chicago Bears, just because of the lack of quarterback play and Justin Fields. Pretty much it. Well, my honest opinion, if they put in Justin Fields, they could possibly go to the playoffs. I forgot to put them there. I was about to put them in playoffs. What the hell, Nico? Now, as I was talking about earlier, this division is stacked. The NFC West, it's stacked. So I'm gonna knock out two teams in one. I'm gonna put San Fran. I'm gonna put the Cardinals. I think these guys, both of them, could make the playoffs. I think they actually could make the playoffs. San Francisco coming back with a brand new quarterback, hopefully, if Jimmy G doesn't start and he comes to Washington. And then the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I mean, they've improved, but they haven't improved. But the Cardinals were also that team a game behind. The Cardinals could have made the playoffs last year if they really wanted to, and they could have made it. They didn't make it, and it's tragic and it's bad. And like I said, I think I see them being there. Now, the next team I'm going to put on this board, and we may actually have to put one more, it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens. I think personally the Baltimore Ravens are a playoff team still. They have lost a lot, but they're still a playoff team. Now, like I said, to me personally, are the Baltimore Ravens going to be that team for me that it's going to go all the way to the playoffs to win the whole thing? No, but they're going to make the playoffs. It's no doubt. And I do have a hot take now coming up. I usually have one more team, but I'm going to put this team on here because why not? So the last team, I'm going to say it's a playoff team, but not a Super Bowl hopeful team, is the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, in my personal opinion, are not going to win. They're going to win. They're going to go to the playoffs, but they're not going to make it anything past the divisional or possibly the AFC Championship game. Reasons being, their team is so young, and they did go to the divisional last year, but their team is so young. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are a phenomenal duo, probably the best running back duo in the NFL, arguably. Not for sure, but arguably. This team, to me personally, they could go to the AFC Championship game or the divisional round, but I don't see them going anything further than that. They're not Super Bowl yet unless Baker Mayfield gets his shit together, which I don't think he will. Now, analyzing everything, I do have my final four in here. I do have my final four that I predicted a couple months ago of who's going to make the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go from the least team that can win the Super Bowl to probably the team that's going to win the Super Bowl. So the least team, I'm going to put them in the category Tennessee Titans. That team is looking scary. That team could potentially be a Super Bowl contending team. Reasons being is that I do think that the Tennessee Titans are well enough capable of making it back to where they were back in 2019, 2020. They're 100% capable of doing it. It's just their defense can hold up. Defense holds up. Their corners don't get hurt. Caleb Farley performs. This team could go to the Super Bowl without a doubt, or losing the AFC Championship game. But if they're nothing but an AFC Championship loser, they have nothing to be mad about. This team is phenomenal. If this team goes to the Super Bowl, it's huge for Tennessee. Do I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl? I could see it happening in a situation. I could see it happening where Mahomes gets booted out of the first round of the playoffs, and that's about it. But if Mahomes gets booted out of the playoffs, it's open game for anybody. Oh, it's open game. It's open game. So that's why I think the Tennessee Titans could potentially make the Super Bowl, possibly win it. And out of the six teams, the next team who I potentially think it could go to the Super Bowl and make it, easy. I'm going to give it to the Rams. I think the Rams could easily go to the Super Bowl and possibly win the entire thing. Personally, do I think they're going to do it? I don't know. I hope they do. The Rams are a great team. phenomenal team with Matthew Stafford. They did get Sonny Michel and Darnell Henderson. They got Cooper Kupp, Deshaun Jackson, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee. With the loss of Gerald Everett, their O-line is okay again. Their defense is probably the best defense in the NFL, one of the best, top two. And I think this team could easily make it. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. Now, the next team who I think will be borderline being able to win the Super Bowl, easy. Let's give it to the last dance, the Green Bay Packers. Let's just get on all there. Get it all out there. The Green Bay Packers are probably the team that could potentially make the playoffs. Not the playoffs, the Super Bowl. They could make it. Do I think they're going to? No. But I'm going to put them on the Super Bowl list because I'm not going to be a biased a-hole. I think the Packers could make the Super Bowl. I feel like we've said this every year where Aaron Rodgers wasn't hurt. This team could make the Super Bowl. Are they going to? I don't know. I can't. I don't want to bet on them anymore. I can't. To me personally, I just can't bet on them to win a Super Bowl. But I'll put them in the Super Bowl category. Hopefully that they can get there this season. I mean, I hope Washington does too. But if Washington gets eliminated, hopefully Green Bay can get there. The next team who I can see potentially winning a Super Bowl, Chiefs. You guys are probably wondering, what the hell? Defense is just not there for me. Sorry. Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, great guys. Ladarius Sneed, great guy. Now where this team is just going to lack is just, defense. But again, this is the Chiefs. They make bottom guys look top 10, top 15 in their positions. It's because of the chemistry that they have. This team could easily go back to the Super Bowl if they wanted to. I think they have the third best odds of winning the whole thing. That's my personal opinion, though. Now, the team that I think has the second best odds of winning it is the Bills. They lost last year. They want that redemption season. They want to come back. Josh Allen just signed that big contract. I think that Josh Allen's going to come in and play like an MVP. I think he'll win the MVP. I think Josh Allen's going to be the guy who comes in, just wins the MVP, shocks the world, beats Mahomes to go to the Super Bowl, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But the Bills look promising. I like what Buffalo's doing. Their team, like AJ Espinosa, is getting back there. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. Is that his name? Singletary are going to try to get back into the mix of trying to find out who's the RB1. Stephon Diggs played phenomenal last year. The Glenn Davis stepping up. This team is a great team all around, top to bottom, phenomenal team. Hopefully they can perform and they can go back to the AFC Championship game and win it all. And the team who I think is going to go back to back and repeat, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guys, they lost nobody, they gained nobody. This team is all around nothing but phenomenal. The most I think they'll do is go pick up Julian Edelman. But this team's going to make the Super Bowl. But this is my tier list, and I'm going to stick to it. So without further ado, I want to thank everyone for watching today's episode. I'm so happy I'm doing this again. Expect more content coming out. I'm going to be trying to upload at least once every 2-3 days. Just have to get video ideas down. So comment down below any video ideas. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. And guys, I'm back. And be on the lookout for WeSportin Season 2 Power